Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our daily Hindu editorial analysis. You are with Alpa Sharma on India's largest online education platform, that is Gradeup. Sahi prep hai, to life set hai. Good morning. So many people have already joined me. Yes. How are you guys today? How are studies going on? Quickly tell me if everything's visible, audible, clear to everyone. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So now let's look at the agenda of the day. What are we going to do today? So our agenda would be that today is 2nd of July. But of course, as all of you know, I'm going to take an editorial from the 1st of July. I thought yesterday's editorial was also important, but then the two articles that I'm going to take today, one is going to be from the Indian Express as well, and the other of course is going to be from the Hindu. So we're going to discuss these two articles today. I had sent a message in the Telegram group asking you guys to specifically read the article from the Indian Express. I hope you've read that. If you haven't read that, you could read that with me. It's a small article but a beautifully written piece. It's more like a reading comprehension. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Specifically, the tone of the author there becomes very, very important. It's a little tricky. So yes, it's a beautiful piece of writing that we are going to read. I am absolutely fine. All of you asking me, I'm absolutely fine. Also, I have to tell you something about today's agenda. Apart from this Hindu editorial class that happens at 10, I'm going to come live today again at 4 p.m. where I'll be talking about the WAT section, the writing ability test that is asked in the CLAT examination. So if you guys are appearing for CLAT, this session is for you. I'll be telling you all the tips and tricks how to get good marks in WAT. Also, if you're not sitting for CLAT, you have to share this video's link with all of your friends. All of those groups where you have CLAT students, where you have CLAT students, I want you to share the link of that video. Ask them to come live with me so that I can solve their problems simultaneously. So this is going to be the agenda for today. I also have to tell you the agenda for tomorrow. Since tomorrow is Saturday, obviously I'll not be taking an editorial class tomorrow. So no editorial class tomorrow. But I have already recorded the short video from today's editorial. That is important articles, the roundup. I will also be sharing a roundup for tomorrow's editorial. So make sure you look at the roundup video and you read the editorials thoroughly. What is going to happen tomorrow? I have to tell you about tomorrow's agenda as well. Saturday at 10 a.m. Part 2 of the WAT video is going to come up. So this video of our WAT will be divided into two parts. For the first part today at 4 p.m., the second part tomorrow at 10 a.m. So make sure you watch both these videos, you come live and you share it with all of your friends. This is going to be our agenda for today and tomorrow on YouTube. And for everybody who doesn't know me, my name is Alpa. Please write and pronounce it correctly. Ma'am, am I taking China article today? No, but I'm not taking the China article today because it is a very politically aligned article. And I don't want to get into a political discussion specifically in this class. When you look at the second article I've taken from the Indian Express, you will understand exactly why have I taken that and why have I left out the China article. It is exactly how a reading comprehension is made. The article that I'm going to take today from the Indian Express. So no China article. ओके मैम वीडियो क्यों नहीं दिखती है रिफ्रेश करने के बाद भी आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस क्लास बच्चे ऑल राइट इंशा आप इतने नामों से आते हो दैट वी डोंट नो व्हिच अकाउंट डू यू हैव ओके ऑल राइट सो लेट्स मूव अहेड लेट्स क्विकली जिसको वीडियो नहीं दिख रही प्लीज रिफ्रेश कर लो पेज एक बार बच्चों इट शुड बी फाइन बाकी सबको दिख रही है ना एवरीथिंग विजिबल एंड ऑडिबल ऑल राइट. So, what are we going to do today? We're going to take a positive quote of the day. Then we're going to start revising 3 questions from yesterday's class through one-word substitution. I hope you're able to answer all of that. Then we're going to take 2 articles. We're going to discuss them completely. Today's 2 articles, one from Indian Express, one from the Hindu. We're going to take out complete vocabulary, phrasal verbs. There are idioms also today. So we're going to discuss idioms also that have been asked in today's editorial. And in the end, today's tone is very, very important. It's a little tricky. Let's see how many of you are able to understand the tone by the end of the class, by the end of the second article. So you will tell me the tone of the author in the chat box. Apart from that, आप मुझे comment section में summary बताएंगे. Okay? In the comment section. Remember that. Not in the chat box, but in the comment section. Let's quickly have, just a minute. Okay. But before this, okay. So let's quickly look at this. So if you're targeting CLAT 2022, we have a new batch 6, which has recently started. Make sure you enroll yourself for the batch at the soonest because the months are becoming lesser and lesser with each passing day. So make sure you do not waste a lot of time. Speak to our counselors on this number and inquire about the program with them. What is going to be our positive quote of the day today? Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. I don't like mathematics. मुझसे mathematics नहीं होता. A lot of you had been asking me yesterday, ma'am, mathematics छोड़ दे. I'm doing ALET. Can I leave mathematics completely? Okay, now there is not a direct set of questions that ALET will ask you, but under AR or sometimes a separate section of mathematics may also come. It is only an example to make you understand this quote of the day. I might give up. Okay, I might decide to give up. But if I want success, why shouldn't I try once again? I might be able to get 2 chapters, 3 chapters, 2-3 marks are certain. Half mark पे भी आपके NLUs change हो सकते हैं. Remember that. So, rather than deciding to give up, okay, I am unable to do English, मुझसे vocabulary नहीं होती, छोड़ देते, कुछ और कर लेंगे. Why don't you start trying once again, one more time? If you try doing it one more time, possibly that will lead to success to you. I don't like reading books, ma'am, मुझे boring लगती है novels. Why don't you give it a try with another book one more time? That might give you success, okay? So rather than deciding to give up, always be open to try it one more time. All right. So I hope you get this. You hate mathematics. It is really tough. So many of you. Ma'am, is there sufficient time for CLAT 22? Yes, Sanya. You have a lot of time. Okay. All right. Let's move ahead. Now, what is one word for this phrase out of the 4 options given here? What is one word for deliberately destroying, damaging, or obstructing something, specifically for a political or military advantage? Is it agile? Is it flout? Is it sabotage? Or is it fawning? What is the answer, guys? Ma'am, Hindi bhi boliye? Yes, Hindi bhi bolungi. Okay. बताओ मुझे इसका आंसर क्या होगा? Oh, that's good, Neha. That's very good. That's appreciable. B, C. Some of you say B, some of you say C. Mostly saying C, the answer absolutely is sabotage. Now, sabotage can be used for political and military advantage, but it can be used otherwise as well. Remember, okay? You can use it for other situation. बाकी situation के लिए भी आप use कर सकते हो. जानबूझ के deliberately आप कोई चीज को destroy कर रहे हो, damage कर रहे हो, hamper कर रहे हो, is sabotage. Okay? Agile is flexible or maybe quick or maybe fit is agile. Okay, next is flout. We use flouting with norms a lot of times. Flouting the norms mean, what does it mean? Let me see how many of you can answer this. Okay, what does flouting mean? Flouting the norms. By the time you answer flouting, let me help you answer what is fawning. Fawning is like a Hindi word है चमचा. Usually एक dependent जो होता है is a fawning person, usually under your rank, dependent on you, is a fawning. Yes, breaking the rules, correct. Agile can be active, absolutely. Lauren, it can be active. Absolutely not. Wait, I have clearly said this. I might sound rude, but there is absolutely no chance of CLAT being postponed. Do not buy anyone's word. आप जितने भी petitions file कर दो, CLAT postpone नहीं होगा बच्चों. Please do not fall for this trap. आप मेहनत करो, CLAT उसी डेट पे होगा, उसको मान के मेहनत करो. Okay? So breaking the rules is flouting. Correct. शॉविनिस्ट आपने किसका बताया हर्षित बच्चे? आई डोंट थिंक शॉविनिस्ट इसमें किसी का सिनोनिम है. ऑल राइट, सो लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट वन. आई हैव ऑलरेडी आंसर. क्लैट पोस्टपोन नहीं होगा, होना भी नहीं चाहिए. Treat in a way that is apparently kind or helpful but that betrays a feeling of superiority. कल हमने बहुत डिस्कशन किया था इस वर्ड पे. You will certainly know the answer. Is it goad? Is it patronage? Is it idiosyncrasy? Is it impede? What is it? Flout is to disobey. Yes, absolutely correct, Aditya Mishra. Okay. What is the answer here? Absolutely नहीं होगा नमन. I agree with you. Cases are slowly increasing. जी ये कोई आर्गुमेंट का टॉपिक ही नहीं है बच्चे. Absolutely be answer. Patronage. Yes. Thank God now you understand the meaning of the word and you remember the word as well. The answer absolutely is patronage. Okay. Now what is goad? Who will tell me what is goad? Goad is to prod or provoke. Okay. So to incite is to goad. हमने कल एक word किया था incite. किया था, if you remember this. Provoke is to goad. Idiosyncrasy is like a crazy. Idio is the root word here, right? Idio means different. So idiosyncrasy is like a crazy person. All right. I hope you get this. What is impede? Just a minute. Yeah. CLAT के admit card आ गए क्या? No. Patronage बच्चे इसी definition का word है. Ignite is another word, correct? Correct, absolutely. Incite violence, ignite violence, correct. Goad is to instigate, very good word for goad. Yes, to poke as well, correct. Okay, then we have impede. Impede means to hinder, to stop. Okay, so that is impede. Any doubts? Hinder, yes, correct. Yesterday you taught us the word patronage many times. Oh yes, thank you for remembering it, Neha. My job is done. Oh, that's a very good example, Lauren. Very, very good example. Okay, now let's move on to the third word. Make a careful and critical examination of something. If it is wet, is it implode? Is it egotist? Is it insipid? What is it? Batao. What is it? Okay, yes. Abatement goad हो सकता है. Yes. Abate नहीं, abet. Okay, याद रखना. It is absolutely wet. Correct. The answer is absolutely wet. This is our answer. आप critical examine करते हो. Scrutiny was another word we did for it. Okay. Implode is the opposite of explode. To burst outside, explode. To burst inward is implode. To burst inward is implode. Who is an egotist? It is different from an egoist. Now, who will tell me the difference between egoist and egotist? आपके जैसे बनना है. आप कैसे याद करते हो मैम टेक्निक? आप एक क्लास बना दो ना मैम. ऑडियोलॉजी मैं कैसे याद करती हूँ? मैं बहुत सारी रीडिंग करती हूँ और मैं बहुत सारे रूट वर्ड्स पे काम करती हूँ. और जो मैं टेक्निक यूज करती हूँ, आई एम श्योर मैं वो टेक्निक आपके साथ जरूर शेयर करती हूँ. सो मैं बार बार जब आपको बोलती हूँ बहुत सारा रीडिंग करो, दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आई डू. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ईगोइस्ट एंड ईगोटिस्ट? Egoist and egotist? Who will tell me? By the time you tell me the difference between egoist and egotist, let me tell you what is insipid. Insipid is something that is very plain, that has no taste or not very exciting is insipid. Egoist is selfish. Okay, then who is egotist? Difference क्या? Egoist और egotist. Jatin, this class has already been made. If you want any of the articles from yesterday's editorial to be taken, you have to reply to my yesterday's video in the comment section. Only then I'll be able to take that article, okay? Yes. So, egoist, जिसका ego high पे होता है. But egotist is one who brags about his, oh, I did this, I did that, my achievements are these. That's the difference between an egoist and egotist. Both root words are ego, which means I or self. दोनों का self high पे होता है. Egoist का सिर्फ self high पे होता है. Egotist seeks self affirmation and he boasts about his own achievements. That is the difference between an egoist and egotist. Okay? I hope you get the meaning of all the words here. Insipid is pale, tasteless, or maybe not exciting. Okay, these are the words for. Now let's move on to the words from today's editorial. So make sure you memorize them simultaneously. All right. The first word, stimulus, a very easy word. हमने response to stimuli पढ़ा था स्कूल में. Okay, so anything that is a stimulus is anything that provokes or ignites certain kind of reaction in our body. That is stimulus. A thing or an event that evokes a specific reaction in an organ or a tissue. So it doesn't necessarily mean an organ or a tissue. It could be evoking any kind of emotion in your brain as well, in your mind as well. That can be called a stimulus. So you can memorize it with the response to stimulus. आप जब भी sunlight देखते हो, you cringe your eyes because you can't look at it like that directly. That's a response to stimulus. Okay. So evoking any kind of response into our body is stimulus or stimuli. उसका जो singular हो गया. Propensity. We have done this word before. Propensity is your inclination towards something. Your propensity towards English, your inclination towards English. Your propensity towards politics, your inclination towards politics. How many of you have a propensity towards becoming an IAS officer someday or a judge someday? Quickly reply to my question here in the comment section. How many of you? Yes, Bache, Ritika, correct. Okay. Mean who Abhinav says egoist means who uses his idea or moral base for whole basis, but egotist means self-absorbed person. Okay, yes, you can say that. All right. Okay, so many of you. That's very, very good. Very good. So many of you. Wow, that's impressive. So when I grow old and probably I have some cases against me, I hope to get your help someday if I have to fight a case. Okay. So let's move on. Let's look at the next word, traction. Traction is the basically pull is traction. Okay. So you can memorize it with attraction. Obviously, the root word is the same. So traction is to pull. The action of drawing or pulling something is traction. A primitive vehicle used in animal traction. So it could be a cart, a bullock cart that pulls something. Memorize it with attraction. The root word is the same. Next, exchequer. Exchequer is the treasury. It can be a royal treasury. It can be a national treasury. Treasury is मेरे country के पास जो money है और जो उसको manage करता है. That's the exchequer. Okay? So जो भी money हम accumulate करके रखते हैं हमारे country में emergency funds के लिए और welfare schemes के लिए, that is exchequer. Okay? So जब भी हम tax देते हैं, benefit हम किसको देते हैं? Tax pay करके हम exchequer को benefit करते हैं. Abysmal. Abysmal जिसका कोई bottom नहीं है. Bottomless. Bottomless is abysmal. Okay? Okay. Ah, that's good. Propensity towards social work. Very good sentence, Archita. You can use that. Okay. All right. Next is abysmal हो गया जिसका कोई end नहीं है, depth नहीं है. Very, very deep. An abysmal well. मुझे नहीं पता उस well का क्या depth है. If somebody suffers from depression, life seems abysmal for them. The day seems abysmal for them. Hinterland. Hinterland is a land that is beyond your reach, beyond your boundary, something that possibly is not visible or not known to you is hinterland. Something that's not visible or not known. A land, an area is a hinterland. The strange hinterland where life begins and ends. I don't know where life begins, where it ends. That is a hinterland. That is beyond my comprehension, beyond my reach, beyond my vision is a hinterland. I hope you get all the words here, everyone. Dreadful is a related word to abysmal, not an exact synonym, but remember. Okay? Ocean is abysmal, yes. Plunge is also a related word, RK. It's not an exact synonym, it's a related word. Traction, I'll repeat. Traction का मतलब होता है आर्या to pull, to drag is traction. Remember it with attraction. Attraction में भी pull होता है. Okay? अच्छा देखो, I'll give you more words with tract. Root word यहाँ क्या है? Root word here is T-R-A-C-T, tract. So tract means to pull. So attract, distract, all of these words, distract, this means opposite. So distract is pulling away. Attract is pulled towards itself. Can you give me more words with tract, everyone? Ma'am, we are discussing about the second wave of COVID. I don't know. More words with tract. Okay? By the time you give me more words with tract, let me move on to the next slide. Okay? हिंटरलैंड बच्चे एक ऐसा लैंड जो आपकी पहुंच के बाहर, आपकी समझ के बाहर है, आपने कभी देखा नहीं है वो लैंड, इज हिंटरलैंड. एक्सट्रैक्ट, वेरी गुड, यस. हाँ बच्चों, जल्दी से गुरु दक्षिणा दे दो. आई हैव अप्रोक्सीमेटली 120 पीपल लाइव एंड आई हैव ओनली, अरे 3 डिसलाइक भी आ गए. डिसलाइक कौन करता है ये? What is the point of disliking the video? Don't come to my video if you don't like it. Retract, very good. Subtract, to pull out a number, subtract, very very good. Extract, कोई चीज आप pull out करते हैं. Retract, to go back, very good, very good. All right, now let's move on to the next slide. The first word here is dole. Dole means to distribute something. Usually, dole is an informal word used for compensation given to homeless people, usually in United States of America. ठीक है? So वो एक informal word है, but apart from that कोई भी चीज आप distribute करते हो, आप उसके लिए भी dole use कर सकते हैं. Okay? Yes. So the next idiom is elephant in the room. Now elephant in the room is, देखो आपके रूम में एक elephant है. Okay? Will there be any chance कि आप उसको notice नहीं करोगे? Obviously, if there's something that big in your room, you will certainly notice it. But you will not want to talk about that. So, an issue that everybody knows about, but we are just dodging the issue क्योंकि हमको उसके बारे में बात नहीं करनी है. That is the elephant in the room. Okay? मुझे नहीं पता मुकुल कब होगी. I don't know. आपको अभिमन्यु सर से पूछना पड़ेगा. Okay, so I hope you understand what is the meaning of the idiom elephant in the room. The next one word is aphorism. An aphorism is a saying. या फिर एक कॉमन जो मुहावरा होता है, कहावत is a better phrase for aphorism. कॉमन कहावत होती है जो, that is an aphorism. An observation which contains a general truth. लोगों को पता है बात चलते चलते आ रही है. पुराने टाइम से मेरे दादाजी मुझसे कहते थे कि सुबह सुबह उठ के बादाम खाया करो. It's an aphorism. वो बात चलती आ रही है, एक जनरल ट्रूथ है उसके अंदर. Okay? An old aphorism is a child is the father of a man. So this is a पुरानी saying है, पुरानी कहावत है. That is an aphorism. Next word is synaptic. Now synaptic is a technical term. It's a biological term. Synaptic is जहां nerve cells join करते हैं, उनका जहां synopsis होता है, जहां उनकी joining होती है nerves की, that part. So this joining is called synapsis technically. So और synaptic उसकी study होती है. So a synaptic membrane, ये वो membrane है जहां दो set of nerve cells join करते हैं. ये word use था इसलिए you need to know the meaning of the word. Next word is smirk. Now smirk is a weird kind of smile. Elephant in the room, yes, आ गया सबको समझ में? Yes, easy, absolutely. Aphorism में फिर से समझाती हूँ. Aphorism एक कहावत होती है, एक common saying होती है जो बहुत टाइम से चलती आ रही है. It has been used for a lot of years. Is an aphorism. Okay. Yes, liquid transmitter to nerves, correct. स्टीरियोटाइप इज रिलेटेड श्रेया, ये एग्जैक्ट सिनोनिम नहीं होगा, इनमें डिफरेंस है. ऑल राइट, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट एनी अदर. शांतनु सर क्लास क्यों नहीं ले रहे बच्चे, मुझे नहीं पता मुझे नहीं पता ये. ओके चलिए स्मक देखते हैं. स्मक इज अ वियर्ड काइंड ऑफ स्माइल, यूजुअली नॉट अ वेरी हैप्पी लाफ्टर, हा हा वैसा लाफ्टर नहीं होता. एक स्माइल होती है जो कि इधर आप किसी का मजाक उड़ाने के लिए वो स्माइल देते हैं या फिर एक सिली वे में स्माइल देते हैं, दैट यू आर नॉट अम्यूज्ड, यू आर नॉट वेरी हैप्पी विद इट. तब आप जब स्माइल देते हैं दैट इज अ स्मक. ओके, और अपना सुपीरियरिटी दिखाने के लिए स्माइल देते हैं, दैट इज अ स्मक. यस, सस्पिशियस स्टोरीज में यूज होता है स्मक, करेक्ट. Okay, the last one is contrite. Contrite is a feeling or expression of remorse. Remorse is regret at the recognition that one has done wrong. जब आपको ये फीलिंग आती है, आप रिग्रेट करते हैं, आपने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया कि आपने गलत कर दिया, दैट फीलिंग इज कंट्राइट. ओके, सो आपने मॉक में एक क्वेश्चन मार्क कर दिया और आपने आफ्टर सबमिटिंग द मॉक रियलाइज किया दैट आई हैव मार्क्ड द रॉन्ग ऑप्शन, दैट सिचुएशन इज कंट्राइट. यू हैव अ कंट्राइट फीलिंग, यू हैव अ कंट्राइट टोन. Okay, I hope you get what is contrite, everyone. The words for today. Yes, exactly, Gayatri. यही smiley smirk है. Absolutely. Oh, so many of you know this smiley. Correct. सबने correct use किया है. After winning the race, हाँ, आपका superiority वाला smile आ गया. See, I can do this. ये वाला जो smile है, this is smirk. Okay, so I hope you get all the words here. I am going to remove this slide now. And now comes the article of the day. Chat box off. Stick with me till the end. और article के end में मुझे बताना what is the tone of the author. This article is about the second wave of COVID-19, rightly guessed by most of you. और ये article क्या discuss करता है? This article says how our government had promised a lot of relief packages for a lot of people. और इस relief package को आने में it took a lot of time. बहुत time लगा इस relief package को आने में. Now finally, the relief package has arrived, and this article is an analysis of the relief package finally that was launched by the government, I think on Monday. Yes, on Monday it was launched by the government. So this article is an analysis of the relief package. You will tell me how does the author look at it? Does he look at it positively or negatively or neutrally? So by the end of the passage, tone will be dependent on how does the author look at the relief package. After asserting that people should wait for union budget's announcement to trickle down before seeking a fresh stimulus to cope up with the second wave of pandemic, the government finally unveiled a relief package of sorts. अब देखो, package of sorts बोला इसको. डायरेक्ट पैकेज नहीं रिलीज किया कि मैं इतने करोड़ रुपए दे दूंगा. एक पैकेज के जैसा ही कुछ रिलीज किया मंडे को. आफ्टर वी वेटेड फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम, और फाइनली जब यूनियन बजट आ गया, आफ्टर दैट द गवर्नमेंट हैज फाइनली अनाउंस्ड a budget of sorts. The financial implication of the measures such as the promise of easy small ticket loans. अब देखो क्या क्या चीजें included इसके अंदर. पहला, the first thing that is included is small ticket loan for 25 lakh micro entrepreneurs को loan के लिए 25 lakhs तक का permission है, and 11,000 tourist agents and free tourist visas. So हम बहुत सारे countries को free tourist visas भी दे रहे हैं. Finally have been projected at about, और इसका अमाउंट क्या फाइनली प्रोजेक्ट हुआ है, 6.29 लाख करोड़ बाय द फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री. इन दोनों चीजों का, जो फ्री टूरिस्ट वीजास है, 11 लाख टूरिस्ट एजेंट्स है, उनको फाइनेंशियल लोन्स मिल रहे हैं, एंड स्मॉल टिकट लोन्स फॉर 25 लाख माइक्रो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, इनको भी लोन्स मिल रहे हैं. दिस हैज अमाउंटेड टू 6.29 लाख करोड़ बाय द फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री. नियरली 2.68 लाख करोड़ of 6.29 of this is in the form of credit guarantees. अब ये जो 6.29 लाख करोड़ का असेसमेंट किया है, इसमें से 2.6 लाख करोड़ इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ क्रेडिट गारंटी. गारंटी दे रही है गवर्नमेंट आपकी बेसिकली. A further of 1 lakh crore of guarantee has been promised to add to the 3 lakh crore emergency credit scheme, but the scheme's tenure hasn't been extended beyond September 30. तो ये जो स्कीम लॉन्च करी है जहां क्रेडिट गारंटी देगी गवर्नमेंट, this has been only extended till September 30. September 30 से पहले आप इसको अवेल कर सकते हो. Similar backing has been announced for loans of 60,000 crore to COVID-affected sectors, but only tourism has been publicly identified. कोविड के टाइम बहुत सारे सेक्टर पे इम्पैक्ट आया था, प्रोडक्शन सेक्टर पे, आउटपुट सेक्टर पे, एक्सपोर्ट सेक्टर पे, बट द गवर्नमेंट हैज ओनली एंड ओनली आइडेंटिफाइड द टूरिस्ट सेक्टर, और सिर्फ टूरिस्ट सेक्टर को अभी तक एड देने का अनाउंसमेंट हुआ है. Enhancing loan guarantees will perhaps give risk-averse lenders more confidence in extending loans with the credit deposit ratio. Now, the government is actually becoming a guarantor right now by giving loans. So, all the banks and organizations that were reluctant in giving loan after the second wave of COVID, thinking log वापस नहीं कर पाएंगे पैसा, considering that this is a good news because the government is becoming a guarantor here. So, it is a good news here. But now, as the author says, but starts contradiction. But there is little to make such loans viable by stirring demand for goods and services. अब goods और services की अगर demand ही नहीं है, तो ये loan देके आप करोगे क्या? So technically, if you've identified tourism as a sector that needs money, where are goods and services going? If you are not addressing this situation, becoming a guarantor will not help you. Free visas are a good idea, but unlikely. Again, जो आपने free visas देने का decision लिया है, this is a good idea. But then nobody will want to come to our country unless and until the second wave of COVID. Okay, अच्छा. 25% reservation in NLS. साहिल तुम बातें कर लो सारे time. I will not explain one line to you if you ask me a question. ये आर्टिकल न्यूज़पेपर में है, absolutely yes. इतनी बातें करते हो. I'm not going to look into your chat boxes. Back to it. Now the government has decided to address the free visas. But why the free visas if nobody wants to come to our country? Do you think any tourist will come to our country till our country is pandemic stricken? Our country was in the worst scenario in the whole world during the second wave. Nobody will want to take the risk to come to our country. Even the NRIs who want to visit their relatives in the country would not want to come. Tourist to bilkul nahi aayega, right? So tourist will certainly not come. So this free visas idea is not good. So free visas are a good idea, but unlikely to gain traction in India till a firmer grip on the pandemic by providing vaccination for all. Vaccination भी सबको नहीं मिली है. Nobody will want to come to our country. Under 18 तो बिल्कुल नहीं मिला, but there is a news that it should start anytime soon. Loan of 1 lakh to 10 lakh for travel agents may help meet some liabilities to expenses, but won't make up people take holidays. ठीक है, आपने लोन दे दिया टूरिस्ट एजेंट को, उनके लॉसेस मीट कर जाएंगे, बट अगर लोग ही वेकेशन पे नहीं जाएंगे, पीपल वुड नॉट टेक हॉलीडेज, वेयर विल टूरिस्ट गो, हाउ विल दिस हेल्प देम? सो जो एड आया है अकॉर्डिंग टू द ऑथर, इट्स इन द रॉन्ग डायरेक्शन, इट्स इन द रॉन्ग इंडस्ट्री. Just like last year's 20 lakh crore package, the actual outgo from the exchequer this time is minimal. आपने अनाउंस कर दिया लास्ट ईयर के जैसे 20 लाख करोड़ का पैकेज, बट उसमें से निकल के कितना आएगा? बेयर मिनिमम, मिनिमल. एंड डायरेक्ट स्टिमुलस टू अ डिमांड अबिस्मल. डिमांड बहुत ज्यादा अबिस्मल है, नो एंड टू द डिमांड, बट द अमाउंट दैट इज बीइंग ग्रांटेड इज मीगर. Additional spending of 15,000 crore to ramp up pediatric healthcare. Now this is important. Pediatric healthcare और बच्चों का जो healthcare है, बच्चों के healthcare में amount डाला जा रहा है, which is good, with guarantees of 50,000 crore low interest loans for health projects in the hinterland are critical to cope with the future pandemic waves. Of course, when we add money to the healthcare sector specifically for kids, it's a very, very good news because kids are not being vaccinated yet. So we are being prepared for the third wave of COVID if at all that happens. God forbid that should not happen. It makes sense to direct resources towards health and faster vaccination, but the inclusion of measures already announced along with the spends planned over the next 2 or 5 years and even 77 crore bailout plan for ailing farm market firms gives package just an extra padding. This line says the government has already made some schemes for fertilizer subsidies, food grains for the poor. This has already been done. So जो भी आप extra 77.5 crore bailout plan निकाल रहे हो, it is only an extra benefit. You are not addressing the major issue here. As a government, you are merely creating extra padding, a place where already padding is created. Padding is where you will be protected from punches or protected from harms. A place where already a padding is created, when you're creating extra padding, does it do any benefit to us? No, it doesn't do any benefit to us. Investing time and resources to figure out some form of income support for the vulnerable section in rural and urban areas should have been more helpful. Rather than doing it for as free gains for poor and fertilizer subsidies, जो कि already चल रही थी बहुत time से, if you look at the vulnerable sector and if you try to create more jobs for them, everything will fall into place. This is a suggestion made by the author to the government. Weak demand is a bigger concern for the industry this year. Weak demand का मतलब I am at my home, I am quarantined, I have no money. Probably I have lost my job. In that case, I will not be buying a lot of things. I will not be spending extravagantly. Demand चीजों की बहुत कम हो गई है market में. So even if you provide loan for industries, if the demand is weak, what will the loan do? Nothing. So similarly, a propensity to save future medical bills and uncertain job market have led to belt tighter from customers. All the consumers are spending less because they know a third wave might come. I might have to spend a lot on my medical expenditure if I fall sick to COVID. And apart from that, job market is uncertain. I might lose my job anytime because of the pandemic. In that case, the consumer is spending very, very less. If the government is hesitant about creating new dolls for the fear of them becoming permanent features, it could have at least offered some immediate relief for all by addressing the elephant in the room, a high fuel price. Okay, so the government is certainly not addressing the elephant in the room. Government ने जो भी schemes निकाली है, जो भी money use किया है, certainly not talking about the high fuel prices. High fuel price की बात नहीं करी, that means इसके लिए idiom aptly used है, high fuel prices are the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about that. The government doesn't want to give jobs, create jobs, because government is thinking if I create jobs right now, लोग हमेशा परमानेंटली डिपेंडेंट हो जाएंगे गवर्नमेंट पे जॉब्स क्रिएशन के लिए. गवर्नमेंट वो नहीं कर रहा, ठीक है, नहीं कर रहा. बट व्हाई इज द गवर्नमेंट नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट हाई फ्यूल प्राइसेस? दिस वुड डैम्पन इन्फ्लेशन. अगर आप हाई फ्यूल प्राइसेस की बात करोगे, इन्फ्लेशन कंट्रोल में आएगा. दिस विल एम्पावर आरबीआई टू लेंड ग्रेटर सपोर्ट टू ग्रोथ एंड लीव लिटिल मोर मनी इन पीपल्स हैंड टू स्पेंड. मेरे पास और पैसा बचेगा स्पेंड करने के लिए अगर मेरा पेट्रोल का डीजल का प्राइस कंट्रोल होता है तो. और जब मेरे पास पैसा बचेगा स्पेंड करने के लिए, द डिमांड विल इंक्रीज. When the demand of things in the market will increase, automatically the industry will flourish. This is the analogy the author has made here. While the effort to maintain fiscal restraint may impress global rating agencies, they would be among the first to acknowledge that there's a tipping point where policy inaction risks hurting the economy's long-term prospects. Technically, again, a criticizing line where the author says, आपने जो भी plan बनाया है, it might actually hurt our long-term perspective. This will not benefit our long-term perspective. What will benefit our long-term perspective will be talking about the elephant in the room. इतने सारे already आ गए आपके suggestions. Okay, antithetical. Very good, Yashashvi. Neutral. Neutral नहीं है, no. No, Priyanka. Absolutely critical. Okay, analytical is one more tone. He's analyzing the whole scheme launched by the government. He is criticizing also. Yes, critical and analytical both. Okay. All right. All right. So critical, analytical. Yes. Good. Very good. Okay, now the next article is important, very, very important. You have to keep patience. एक line important. It's a very small article, a short article, but you have to read that thoroughly. Okay, so let's move on to the next article and देखते हैं article के end में tone किसको सही पता लगता है. It's a tricky one. But before that, we have three kind of revision courses for you. One is for CLAT revision, rapid revision course. If you want to revise the whole course for CLAT, we have one course for you. But if you want to target specifically two subjects, one is legal reasoning and other is GK, we have two separate batches. One batch for legal reasoning. You can revise the complete legal reasoning in 30 days. And if you want to revise complete GK for the last year, we have a booster course for GK as well. You can enroll yourself for these batches. If you want to revise these things, please speak to our counselor on the number that's given at the end of the screen. And if you're targeting BHU, BLAT or Jamia LLB, we have another crash course beginning specifically for these examinations. Please enroll yourself for these batches before the dates. In fact, the seats are full. Okay, so faking it. Century completed. Thank you so much. But 5 dislike. Guys, आया मत करो तुम 5 मेरी क्लास में यार. Who dislikes my videos? I don't understand this. चलो आगे. This is lampooning. साहिल, ये lampooning होता है. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं, देखते हैं. Not funny actually. Faking it. So, This article talks about a study that finds that people who are able to bluff their way are smarter. So मुझे कुछ नहीं पता है, अगर मुझे कुछ नहीं पता, rather than admitting मुझे नहीं पता है, अगर मैं bluff कर दूं, मैं कुछ भी घुमा फिरा के आपको स्टोरी सुना दूं, I will be considered smarter because I'm bluffing my way rather than clearly admitting I do not know. But smarter does not always mean better. If somebody is bluffing does not mean he's better than somebody who is admitting that he does not know. This article is about people who bluff. इसके लिए एक phrase use किया यहाँ. I'll tell you what the phrase is. It's blaggers. जो bluff करता है और blabber करता है, बहुत ज्यादा bluff करते करते बहुत कहानियां सुनाता है, बहुत बड़ा चढ़ा के बोलता है, that's a blagger. Now let's understand what this article is about. Fake it till you make it, it turns out is more than just an empty aphorism. ऐसा लगता है इसमें कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. ये जो पुरानी कहावत है, फेक इट टिल यू मेक इट, तब तक झूठ बोलते जाओ, फेक करते जाओ, ब्लफ करते जाओ. I don't think this holds any value in today's world. And while honesty may be the best policy, a little bit of lying is actually a sign that you're above average intelligence. So any person who lies a little bit may be considered as a person with above average intelligence because you know how to deal with a situation by bluffing something. A recent study published in the Journal of Evolutionary Psychology has found that blaggers are those with the ability to bluff their way through conversations and concepts they don't understand, are called blaggers. वो bluff कर सकते हैं, conversation में बैठे हुए हैं, ठीक है. एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको देती हूँ, ग्रुप डिस्कशन जहां होता है, ठीक है, मुझे नहीं पता टॉपिक क्या ग्रुप डिस्कशन का, बट व्हाट आई विल डू इज आई विल लिसन टू वन पर्सन, सेकंड पर्सन, आई टेक क्यूज फ्रॉम बोथ द पर्सन एंड क्रिएट माय ओन आइडियाज एंड स्टार्ट ब्लफिंग. So in a conversation, when you start bluffing a lot, talk constantly, even if you don't know about the topic, they are called blaggers. These blaggers are actually smarter than the people who have humility to say, I don't know. This is what the psychological study says, but mere hisab se, you still are better if you say you don't know, rather than bluffing it. Guessing is fine, bluffing, I don't think is fine for me. Lying, even the harmless kind, where you're faking an understanding of an RBI. बहुत अच्छा example है, देखो. When a person is faking of an RBI policy at a sinfully boring party with economists. Economists हैं, party हो रही है, बहुत boring party है, आपको नहीं पता बोलना क्या है, आप किसी भी RBI policy के बारे में उल्टा सीधा बोले जा रहे हो. That is bluffing. Okay, that is blaggering. So, or pretending to be an expert at plating and gnocchi on a date with a master chef enthusiast. If you are on a date with a person who is a master chef enthusiast, you would probably just start talking about plating and gnocchi. Gnocchi पता भी है किसी को क्या होता है? Gnocchi is a kind of a hand rolled pasta. So you would just talk about gnocchi. Gnocchi बनता कैसे है? Because you are on a date with a master chef enthusiast. It is a creative process, but someday you will certainly fall. आपकी फर्स्ट डेट में आपने ब्लफ कर दिया, सेकंड डेट में ब्लफ कर दिया, बट थर्ड डेट में तो आपको कुकिंग के बारे में बोलना ही पड़ेगा. हाउ मेनी डेज विल यू ब्लफ? Okay, unlike telling the truth, it requires what the researcher in the study called synaptic plasticity, and people who don't need to justify a PhD call thinking on their feet. Lying about theories and concept require an even greater ability to spin yarns. ये बहुत अच्छी लाइन है. It says if you have the ability to lie, you have a very high ability to spin yarns. Spin yarn का मतलब क्या है? घुमाते रहना, लपेटते रहना. That is spinning yarn. So you have a high ability to spin yarn, beginning with bits of what you know and filling the blanks. बहुत सारी conversation है, सामने वाला person एक line बोलता है, उसी line से you take some cue and you add some more lines to it. You are spinning the yarn. Till now, this is what blaggering is about. Now, the problem with this is brilliance, though, is that it has become it has a short shelf life. How many days can you bluff? You can bluff. Guys, I see a lot of YouTube videos where people have also been, I lately came across a video where people talked about how to cheat in an online examination. Okay, that was bluffing. You cannot do that. Even if you can do, you can't score NLS through it. So बहुत सारे ऐसे videos आते हैं, but nonetheless, ये videos कितने दिन bluff कर लेंगे? एक दिन, दो दिन? In reality, unless and until there is something concrete about it, you would never be able to flourish, right? Meaning of gnocchi बच्चे एक पास्ता होता है, hand rolled pasta होता है, ठीक है? Okay, so this has a very short shelf life. This kind of blabbering and faking it has a very short shelf life. Homer Simpson, the idiotic everyman of our time, once remarked that the sweetest moment is the time between I lie and I get caught out. So उनका रिमार्क था, रिमार्क को देखो कैसे एनालाइज किया ऑथर ने. द मोमेंट दैट मोमेंट एंड्स दो, एंड हमेशा झूठ बोलना will always come out. It will never continue. Remember this. That's what the author says. And there you stand, exposed in the inadequacy. After you are exposed, you are standing in the inadequacy. What will you do then? You will be ashamed. What will you do after that? For ordinary people, this means being smirked by at the boards at the party. Of course, once you're caught, people will smirk at you. Oh, you did not know anything, you were just bluffing. People will smirk at you. Or having to hurriedly learn how to cook before a third date. या फिर अगर आप बचना चाहते हो तो आपको थर्ड डेट से पहले, क्योंकि आप अपने मास्टर शेफ के साथ डेट पे थे, आपको थर्ड डेट से पहले कुकिंग सीखनी पड़ेगी अगर आप बचना चाहते हो तो. एंड इफ यू डोंट लर्न कुकिंग, यू विल बी कॉट. But it is commentators and columnists, politicians and public figures. This is an important line. आप पकड़े जा सकते हो. You can be caught. A person who is bluffing can be caught. But commentators, columnists, politicians, public figures, ये सबसे बड़े blaggers होते हैं. These are the biggest blaggers of the time. They pronounce the premature end of the epidemic. वो क्या कहते हैं? पैंडेमिक खत्म होने वाला है, वो खुद ही अनाउंस कर देते हैं. वो साइंटिस्ट बन जाते हैं. दे कीप सेइंग, ओ पैंडेमिक खत्म होने वाला है. मैं आपसे बोल रहा हूं पैंडेमिक खत्म होने वाला है. गो कोरोना गो. कॉन्फिडेंटली डिक्लेयर इलेक्शन रिजल्ट्स बिफोर वोटिंग इज डन. वो अपने आप रिजल्ट अनाउंस कर देते हैं, भैया ये पार्टी आने वाली है. अब वो दे आर सो कॉन्फिडेंट, वो इतना ब्लैबर करते हैं दैट दे आर कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट दैट. और ओलंपिक मेडल भी हमारा कंट्री ही लेके आएगा. देखो, बीइंग होपफुल इज वेरी गुड. पैंडेमिक खत्म होगा, हम सब चाहते हैं. इंडिया ओलंपिक मेडल लेके आए, एवरी वन ऑफ अस वांट्स दैट. बट यहां वो इतना कॉन्फिडेंटली पहले अनाउंस कर देते हैं, और कहीं जा ही नहीं सकता ओलंपिक. ओलंपिक विल कम टू माय कंट्री ओनली. एंड व्हेन इट टर्न्स आउट दैट दे वर जस्ट फेकिंग इट, they are far from contrite, pretending that the facts were at fault. They're not even considering themselves to be guilty of announcing fake facts. वो कहते हैं कोई बात नहीं. They either don't comment or they say it's okay. Everybody does that. मेरे पास जो डेटा आया था वो गलत डेटा आया था, मैंने इसलिए प्रोसेस करके आंसर बता दिया. Yes, it does take smart to fake it, but it would be a lot better if you just say I don't know. This is a beautiful funny piece of writing. Now you tell me, what is the tone here? बताओ क्या हो रहा है, इतनी बातें कि what is happening? What is KP saying? Oh yes, very good KP, correct, absolutely correct. What is Sonu saying? 2 hours में 90% और 9 hours में 30%. I don't know, मैंने भी बहुत सारे ऐसे वीडियोस देखे. I don't know how do people have so much confidence of claiming 2 घंटे में 90%. मुझे भी करा दो, मेरा 90% कभी भी नहीं आया. What is the tone here? Tone बताओ जल्दी से everyone. Satire, very good. Insha, Gayatri, KP, absolutely satire. देखो मजाक है, ह्यूमर है, लेकिन ह्यूमर में एक सार्केज्म है यहाँ, ह्यूमर में एक क्रिटिसिज्म है यहाँ. This is a satirical article. Absolutely. See, when I mix critical, when I mix critical and humorous, it becomes satire. सिर्फ मजाक नहीं है, क्रिटिसाइज करने वाला मजाक है. यहाँ जो पॉलिटिशियंस का एग्जांपल दिया, कॉलमिस्ट, कमेंटेटर्स का एग्जांपल दिया है, he is absolutely criticizing them. All right? He's absolutely criticizing them. Okay, guys, but I have to tell you this. I'm a little upset with the fact that I have dislikes constantly increasing. Possibly you don't want these sessions to come anymore. This is certainly not appreciative. If you thought it was funny, I don't find it funny as well. Now I have to just quickly show you the caricature of the day. Summary आप comment section में लिख देना. And if you're targeting CLAT 23, we have a new batch starting. I'm going to be a part of this new batch too. Please speak to our counselors and enroll yourself at the soonest. This is our pool of faculties. I'm sure you know all of them. You've been attending their classes. This is our caricature of the day. What is this about? Tell me. What is this caricature? What do you understand from it? Lampooning and satire. देखो, Abha, there is a very clear difference. Lampooning is merely criticizing. आपने ये गलत किया, आपको ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. I am criticizing all those people giving me dislikes. Okay, this is critical. But If I am making fun of you and then criticizing you, that is satire. Mazak karke criticize karna is satire. I hope you get the difference. Okay. All right. Gayatri, we should not get into this conversation. It's an endless conversation. Okay. I hope you understand what this caricature is about. He says, no, no, this is not the army is saying, no, no, this is not a halo. Halo mat samjho, ye drone ud ke aa raha hai. So it's a drone attack. Okay, so now guys, I am going to see you at 4 with a class on WAT. No editorial article tomorrow, of course, because tomorrow is Saturday. The editorial article discussions would come on Monday, but I'll be uploading the roundup videos. You can watch them and read the articles that I recommend. So I have to end the class here. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, work very, very hard and God bless all of you.